UK Security Agency is warning that vulnerable and elderly people could be at risk as temperatures drop well below freezing. An amber cold health alert has been issued across the whole of England, with separate weather warnings for snow and ice in place across England, Wales and parts of Scotland until Monday. Our reporter Simon Jones has more.
Snow, ice, torrential rain, flooding. The wintry weather has arrived with a vengeance. And the warning is, more is on the way. After what was an unseasonably mild Christmas period, you can certainly feel it has got a lot colder. And that's why healthcare providers like this hospital are being put on a state of high alert for the coming days. The UK Health Security Agency has issued an amber cold health alert for all of England, lasting until the middle of next week. Much of Scotland is covered by Met Office warnings for snow in the coming days, while ice is a particular concern in Northern Ireland and Wales.
Happy New Year. Usually I'd look at that picture behind you and say it looks stunning, it looks really beautiful. There are real concerns today because there is an amber health warning out, of course, regarding the cold snap that we're about to go through.
Yes, absolutely. Good morning to you and Happy New Year as well. We are being really gripped by this cold snap through today, but not just today, actually the next few days. So quite a prolonged spell of cold weather. If you're stepping out there this morning, temperatures are below freezing.
And cause problems for motorists.
Our reporter Jessica Lane is at Oldham Gritting Depot for us. Jessica, morning to you. I can imagine crews, we can see them all getting out ready to kind of get that grit out on the roads.
Yeah, exactly. They've been really busy here already this morning. You can see behind us maybe the far van. That's actually called Gritty Gritty Bang Bang. Gritty Gritty Bang Bang there is getting ready to fill up that massive pile of salt. And then in front of Gritty Gritty Bang Bang, this is actually a special sort of snowplough gritter that they've brought on especially because of the weather conditions here today. Very, very icy, very cold, about -3 here right now.
On, frankly, a pretty cold morning, Sarah. Well, is that a fair assessment? It is pretty nippy out there.
Yeah, that certainly sums it up. Good morning to you. It is cold out there, actually. We've had temperatures down at -8 overnight. The coldest spot was Benson in Oxfordshire. And we're going to keep with this cold snap over the next few days.
About the cold this morning, how it's affected people. So, Sarah, give us the big picture this morning.
Yes, good morning, Charlie and Naga. Morning to you at home too. Well, temperatures have been plunging out there. It is a bitterly cold start to the day. We've got a sharp frost around. Certainly need to scrape the car this morning, but it is a beautiful morning here in New Haven, East Sussex, looking over the South Downs there. Over the next few days, we're going to keep this cold weather, though.
These pictures, the frost, we've got Fiona Lambden, our reporter at the zoo this morning, beautiful pictures of frost and, crisp mornings. There are severe warnings out, amber warnings out regarding health and just how this is going to impact people. So how long is this going to last?
Well, it's going to be quite a prolonged cold spell, actually. It gets a little bit milder for some of us for a time into Sunday, but then cold again. So, yes, we have got those amber cold health alerts out, yellow warnings out for the weather as well. We've got icy conditions in the north and the west, some snow across the north of Scotland. But actually, many of us waking up to scenes like this. Henley-on-Thames in Oxfordshire, very cold. We've had temperatures of -8 in Oxfordshire earlier on this morning.
3, 2, 1, go!
In Aberdeen, children have been enjoying the snow, but the worst hit areas could see up to 40 centimetres this weekend. Simon Jones, BBC News.
And Sarah is watching those pictures from... Everything all right there?
I kicked my water bottle over. I'm sorry, I thought I'd got away with it.
It's
sorry.
Okay. Minor calamity, Sarah, at this end. Were you seeing those pictures in Aberdeen? Because that's quite a bit of snow up there.
Yeah, there isn't there? Yeah, love it or loathe it. Some of us are going to be seeing some more of that snow. We've already got some lying snow, of course, across parts of Scotland in particular. But for most of us, actually today, relatively calm. Scenes like this in Powys first thing this morning. So we've got some wintry sunshine. It's cold, it's frosty, but there are those icy stretches to watch out for today and some wintry showers, especially in the north and the west.
Britain's big freeze as amber warnings are issued for the weekend. Heavy snow and freezing rain across large parts of the UK could bring severe disruption, travel chaos, even power cuts. Also tonight, the number of people being hospitalised with flu is rising at a very concerning rate, say NHS bosses.
Hello again, good evening. Well, the weather is certainly a little bit interesting this weekend. We've got sleet and snow, frost and ice on the way, and then rather bizarrely it gets much milder on Sunday.
The weather is going to cause some issues, I suspect, this weekend. We have amber warnings from the Met Office. Snow and ice likely to cause some issues, particularly during Saturday night and on into Sunday.
Very cold now, it's been since yesterday, but a lot of people also wondering what it's going to be like tonight and tomorrow. I mentioned earlier Royal Museums of Greenwich saying we might see the meteor shower of the year this weekend.
And you might get to see it tonight, maybe not tomorrow night, but tonight you've got a chance because today, as you'll know, if you were out and about earlier on, was a beautiful day. Yes, a cold, frosty start, but we got to see some sunshine. The temperature struggled a little bit, but I think the blue sky, the sunshine compensated for that, and we'll keep some of those clear skies overnight tonight.
For the forecast, Becky, it is winter, okay, but how unusual is it for this cold?
This sort of stuff is actually not that unusual at all. This is all winter as usual. However, we do have a fly in the ointment, and that's the problem. So let's have a little look about what's going on. Well, at the moment, of course, it's very cold right across the UK. And if we have a little look at the sequence, you can see that we've got low pressure sitting out to the east, high pressure to the west, and that is creating this cold northerly breeze. And that's what's making the temperatures drop down and feel so chilly. That's all really normal. However, what we've got moving in to the southwest is what's causing the problem. Now, as you can see, we've got this collection of frontal systems moving in. It's surrounded by warmer air as well. So this is all falling as rain. Now, as we move throughout Saturday, that is going to be moving in across the UK. It's going to be hitting the very cold air across the UK. And that means that it starts to turn to snow on its leading edge. And there's quite a lot of it. So very cold air, rain moving in. It's a mixture of snow, it's ice. And it's also going to be lasting for the whole of the weekend. It slowly moves off the scene by the time we get to Monday, and then we're left back in that northerly flow. So we can expect, after a brief spell of really a few hours of milder conditions in the south on Sunday, it turns back to cold again for the start of next week. And I think that we are going to then have a cold week ahead of us. Something really worth noting is this freezing rain. Now, freezing rain is really interesting, and it doesn't happen very often. Now, this is when the atmosphere, the air temperature, is mild enough for what's falling out of the sky to be falling as rain. It's not falling as snow. But the ground itself is frozen. And that means that when the rain falls and makes contact with the ground, it freezes instantly. And of course, that basically turns everything into an instant ice rink. It's dangerous because we're not used to it. It's dangerous because of the road surfaces and when you're walking around, and it's dangerous because you can't see it. So that's definitely a hazard to watch out for, mostly across North Wales and the North Midlands. Let's get all the details now for the weekend. So it is going to be a hazardous weekend across many parts of the UK, and we do have at the moment amber weather warnings in force, and as I mentioned earlier, the potential for some of those to be escalated to red warnings. But hazardous and potentially disruptive wintry weather is ahead, and it's worth all of us bearing that in mind. So the detail then, we've got rain, sleet and snow arriving on Saturday, freezing rain that I just mentioned, and ice in places, turning briefly milder in the south the second half of Sunday, and then as we look ahead to next week, we're back to the cold and potentially wintry weather. Not until Monday that it starts to settle down. If there was ever a time to keep up to date with the weather forecast, it really is going to be this weekend. It really is going to be potentially quite dangerous and disruptive. So you have been warned.
Yeah, very cold and people need to take care. Becky, thank you.